When Tia Mowry and her husband of 14 years first announced their divorce out of the blue, and after months of speculation as to what really went down between them, it looks like we finally have an answer, and honestly, it is looking like a case of deadbeat husband. Did Cory really put Tia through mental anguish and she dumped him because she couldn't take it anymore? And is Cory really begging Tia to forgive him and take him back? Child, the story is so much drama.
She met me at my lowest point in Cali. When I got out there, I didn't have anything. And she, gave me that ride home on a bus stop. That was for real.
News of Tia divorcing Cory first broke when Tia posted a black and white photo of her and Cory with a lengthy caption announcing her split from Cory, citing irreconcilable differences. The caption for her Instagram post read, "I wanted to share that Cory and I have decided to go our separate ways. These decisions are never easy and not without sadness. We will remain friends as we co-parent our beautiful children." A lot of people initially thought it was because Cory cheated on Tia, but this rumor was immediately shut down by Cory when he responded to a comment on one of his Instagram posts accusing him of cheating on Tia. The comment read, "He cheated on her," to which Cory replied to saying, "Lies." Either way, this divorce was still very shocking to people because for a long time, Tia and Cory presented themselves as the picture-perfect couple to the public. In fact, just 1 week before her divorce announcement, Tia talked about her and Cory's trip to Italy in an interview with Entertainment Tonight.
To be in Italy with our children and our husbands, it was just so amazing and surreal and just so wonderful. Just walking down the streets and just having a great time, drinking our spritz, just sharing stories.
So with this, it makes sense a lot of people were shocked by the news of them suddenly splitting. However, there was another section of people who were not shocked and even claimed that they saw the red flags in the marriage right from the start and could already tell it was going to end in divorce. People began sharing several clips of Cory and Tia where Cory seemed pretty absent-minded and annoyed every time Tia would try to speak.
Everything's not perfect, marriage is work.
And that's
Marriage is work.
it
I'm
is.
not here.
Go ahead, sorry. I love you too. Today.
Yeah, even though she get on my damn nerves.
You get on my damn nerves. But that's a part of a relationship, I think we're very realistic.
It was almost as if Tia was the only one who fully invested herself into the relationship while Cory just sat back and watched her do all the work. And in an interview after the divorce, Tia described her divorce as an awakening and talked about how relieved she felt after pulling the plug on her toxic marriage and focusing on herself.
But you and your husband, like a lot of couples, decided that it was better to be lived, your life's better lived apart than together.
Yes.
How did you know that it was time?
That's a really good question.
To take that route?
I knew when I really started to focus on my happiness. I feel like women, we tend to focus on everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay, meaning our children. Meaning, our children, our friends, our, family. But at the end of the day, it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
At the start of the divorce process, Tia tried to keep things super low-key, only dropping a few hints here and there. In fact, just a few months after filing for the divorce, she told TMZ that she had plans of spending Christmas with Cory and the kids, making a lot of people believe things were still cool between her and Cory.
Do you plan on spending the holidays maybe with Cory?
Yes, we are. We are going to be spending the holidays with him, which we're really excited about.
Oh, lovely. With the whole fam. I love
with the
that.
whole family. I mean, family is family, no matter what happens. And that's what's important to me. So we will always be family.
However, Cory isn't on the same page as it's being reported that he is coming for Tia's money. Yep, you heard that right. Cory is trying to make this divorce as messy as he can by challenging the prenuptial agreement he and Tia signed back in 2008. Remember how I said earlier on that Tia filed for divorce citing irreconcilable differences? Well, according to court documents obtained by Radar Online, Cory denied that irreconcilable differences played a part in their split. To make things even worse, he asked the court to terminate Tia's right to get spousal support from him, which is something Tia never even asked for. He then had the audacity to leave the box unchecked as to whether he was allowed to get spousal support from her or not. He really be going after that bag. As if things couldn't get any worse, Radar Online also reported that Cory and his lawyer are now questioning the validity of the prenuptial agreement Cory and Tia signed back in 2008 and demanding for certain things to be changed. I don't know what Cory is trying to do here, but he is just exposing how money hungry hungry and greedy he is. But see, this behavior from Cory isn't surprising. You see, just a few months ago, Tia liked and commented side-eye emojis on a post about narcissistic and toxic partners who refuse to pay any bills and gaslight their partners when they get called out for their behavior. Some people had already suspected the divorce has something to do with Cory being broke. They did not expect Tia to blatantly expose him like this. A lot of fans believe this had a lot to do with why she divorced him. See, Cory was a struggling actor with no money to his name when he first met Tia. Meanwhile, Tia was already rich and had quite a bit of fame. So right from the start of their marriage, the financial burden fell in her hands because Cory didn't have what it took to financially take care of their family. Cory actually confirmed this during an episode of the Black Love podcast.
It was real from the beginning, and so I was kind of like, man, I have to marry her. But it wasn't like I didn't want to marry her. I just wasn't ready financially. I'll be honest. I felt like I was afraid. I was scared. I was just like, man, this is serious. But then I said, you know what? I'm gonna make this happen. And that's the truth. I said, I love her. She loves me. It's real. We'll make it work no matter what. I don't care what people gonna say. They probably, why are you marrying this broke? I said, whatever. We gonna make this work.
However, over the last few years, that changed as he has been appearing in quite a lot of TV shows. But word on the street is Cory got comfortable having Tia take care of the house, so even when he began making money, he was still hesitant to contribute and help Tia out and kept his money to himself. In the last few years, Cory have reportedly racked up over $3 million while Tia sits at $4 million, just $1 million more than Cory. This new revelation had people rethinking the whole situation, with some fans speculating that Cory challenging the prenuptial agreement had less to do with him wanting Tia's money and more to do with him wanting to be bitter and just trying to drain Tia out as much as possible before finalizing the divorce. However, it looks like Tia isn't going to allow Cory to have his way, as it's being reported that she is ready to go to war if that's really what Cory wants. She's done catering to Cory's ego and presenting a nice image to the public, and is now going to do everything she can to fight him back. However, according to Tia, she'll be fighting him in court and has no plans of bashing him online. In fact, she claimed her marriage was far from a failure and instead was a learning process for her.
My marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Cory some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration.
I don't know about y'all, but 14 years is a long time to be learning, if you know what I mean, but I digress. It looks like Tia is trying her hardest to keep this divorce as drama-free as possible, but Cory is allowing his ego to get the best of him. Tia really deserves better than this. But unlike Tia, a lot of fans are not holding back and are not wasting no time to blast Cory and drag him to filth for being money hungry and ruining what could have possibly been a very peaceful divorce. One fan said, he got too cocky. Tia accepted him broke, but somewhere down the line, he can no longer hide that rude attitude. I noticed how cold and distant he seemed toward her. I think she finally gave up. Another fan also chimed in and said, there's no reasoning with a narcissist. He will always portray himself to be a victim. If he can't get money out of her, he will at least drag this out and make it as painful as possible. She needs to buckle her seat. He is disrespectful as hell with his hand out. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Cory challenging him in Tia's prenuptial and trying to come for her money? Now, how do you feel about Tia publicly putting him on blast for being a money-hungry deadbeat husband? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other cool video.